Dear Venerable Sisters and Brothers, Dhamma friends, eventually we have come to the last session in our 100th retreat. The early part of this session will start as a question and answer session, specifically with written questions. And if there are any other questions or statement, we are cordially inviting for the audience to take part. As far as the written questions are concerned, we will invite Sarat to present the written question one by one, please.
Venerable Sir, from yesterday's sermon, I gathered that one has to observe beginning, middle and the end of in-breath at an advanced stage. Though I am not in that stage, I would like to know, is it only for in-breath and not for out-breath, or both? And when we start observing these three stages, isn't it manipulative instead of observing? Thank you. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you always.
And the answer for the last statement is the first sentence. The observation and mastering of the primary object only possible when you are passing through the early stages and make sure that the breath is face to face, you are relaxed so that you can go in detail. When and where that alignment happens, that opportunity happens, you must understand to go into the close observation, namely the beginning, the middle and the end. So therefore, if you are going to rush to see the breath right from the beginning, in terms of the beginning, the middle and the end, that is a kind of a rushing. That's a kind of a unwanted complication. So therefore, it is like a car, you are starting and then going to pick up with the third gear. Then you find it is not possible. I mean, if it is possible, if it's a downhill, otherwise it is not recommended. So therefore, first you have to put into the first gear and then make a little pickup. And then whenever when you gather the momentum and the speed, then you can go to the second gear. And then only, if the situation is conducive, you go for the third gear. So this is the part very difficult someone to understand only by theory. So therefore, when to first thing first and how to advance, it's a matter of trial and error. So I am not hoping to give a complete theoretical answer, but the person who has written also with have certain amount of understanding. So therefore, when and where time permits, in the sense when and where in-breath and out-breath is face-to-face, or it may be rising and falling face-to-face, or maybe the left leg and the right leg in the walking face-to-face, then not is the time you have to think, go in detail. That says one operation or one phenomena, number of notings. That is the way you gather more and more information. So therefore, you must understand how to acclimatize, how to synchronize with the situation. So that is a matter of time or matter of experience. So therefore, even if you try to see right from the beginning, the middle and end, it is not a crime, it is not a punishable mistake, but you know it is something awkward, not smooth enough. So therefore this question is good question, but very difficult to give a complete technical answer. So therefore you must learn the momentum of your meditation, and then accordingly you have to efficient in noting, and so much so you are going to get lot of information regarding the object you are observing, and then together with this information, that is called, Pandita Sayadaw call it sap of the Dhamma or juice of the object, then only you feel now you are thoroughly engaged with the object, you are penetrated into object, so much so outside sounds, thoughts, pains will be far away distance, because you are thoroughly engaged. So you must understand the timing, synchronizing, and it takes time.
Most Venerable Bhante, Nissarana. I have noticed while meditating that the thoughts which pop up in my mind is not under our control and does not happen at our will. Yesterday I became angry at a certain person. Then I realized that being angry was not what I wanted to do. And it just happened. So I ignored my ill feeling towards that person and let it pass. After a while, my anger had disappeared. Did I act right? Please correct me if I was wrong. Thank you, Thero.
So if the anger is with me, then I can say correct or wrong. If it is not with me, very difficult for me to exactly say. So you have to be angry with the same person again and see whether it is the same. So you have to stay here in the retreat for long together with that particular person and fight again, or angry again and see second time how it happened, third time how it happened, that is the way. To the reference to the early part of the question, I would like to mention that there's one book called Thought Without a Thinker. The author is Mark Epstein. He is a person who developed mindfulness first and then Western psychiatry the second. And then he has written very prolific books. And one thing he explained is the amount of suffering we do due to this thinking, under the impression that thinking are my own thinking, but when you are meditating only you comes to know the things thinking are not my own. Thinking happening without a thinker, you are just observing, and if you are going to feel responsible for that kind of a thing, endless suffering, endless tension, endless cursing. So just see, thinking process is never under your governability, at your control, and when and where you to understand it, you will get completely mixed up, as to say, that mind work according to whose agenda? Completely without your control. It's someone's agenda. So you have the just observer status, but sometimes you feel, no, it is, I am responsible about the consequences. So what is happening in the mind, it is because of lack of your observation. The day you understand, it is happening according to someone's agenda. And then only you see you are an obedient servant, you are an obedient slave to that agenda, and only thing is you have to end up with the precipitation of frustration, tension. And endlessly you are ready to accept this, ready to accommodate all the tension and all the kind of thing without observing whether this thinking happening for my benefits or my well-being, or is it according to my likings and disliking? No. So therefore, reading the book Thought Without a Thinker will give a special invitation for this subject, and later you can see the feelings, perception, nothing happen according to your will, nothing governable, and still they also have somewhat the same nature. They are working to someone's agenda. And generally it says the propagation. So our machine is a kind of a karmic force to propagate our human nature, humanity, or our progeny. For that only everything is geared. So partly therefore Sigmund Freud got blame, he told our total behavior is on sexuality. The Buddha took one step behind and he told everything is on sensuality, not the sexuality. So therefore when the Sigmund Freud is becoming little by little popular, the enemies of him told he is a Jew talking about the phonographic. not the psychiatrist. Because he attribute everything to the sexual attribution. The Buddha took sensual attribution, and instead he told, there are other dimensions. When you go there only you can see how the thinking, how the feeling, how the perception is always serving that purpose, even though you are happy with that or not. So that very understanding it not self-negating, it is not nihilistic, but it is something you must know. Then only you know your grandeur master, to whom you are serving the whole life, sensuality or sexuality. So once you know, Buddha knows, you are getting distance from the master. So much so you know, up to that point, you can understand or you can do away with that master. That is how you gain your own solitude, your own peace of mind, your own contentment. So therefore, understanding about this dirty master is not a dirty thing. It is a prime important thing. So therefore, not only the thinking, just try to see the feelings and perception. They also have their own agenda.
Venerable Bhante, when I was doing my sitting meditation practice yesterday, I felt my lips getting slowly bigger. I was afraid of that experience and I opened my eyes. I tried to do it again. I felt again and again that. I can't go beyond that. Please give me some advice to do better in my practice.
Now, these are the attributions of the elementary characteristic, sullen kind of feeling, or sometimes the benumbed kind of feeling. Sometimes needles are running like, something like a beehive gets stuck here somewhere this area like. The nerve ends going to release special kind of signals as if you are nearing a cool climate or warm climate or kind of vibration. So that is the point where the external signal coming in, you have managed to reduce or cut off. So therefore all the institutes are open, but no transaction. Therefore, institutes are making their own signals now. Their signal coming from in to the out. Usually what we are doing is out to in signals, seeing objects, visual objects, sounds, everything external, and they go through these gates, ear, nose, tongue, and nerve ends. When and where that is being managed to not to entertain or not to proliferate, then in order to run the institute is making their own signals. So that is the part and parcel of the dreaming. That's the part and parcel of the daydreaming, fantasizing. So this is how now changing at that moment where you feel sullen lips or sometimes magnetic power kind of thing, or vibrations, or like a beehive, or like a benumbing, that kind of thing. After long observation only, you have to decide whether it's a concept or reality. So now you come up to a middle area, it's a half dream, half awakened, and if you wish to see this as a reality, it's almost like reality. But if you open your mouth, eyes and touch it and see, it's nothing. It's just a concept. So this is the point where concept and reality changes, and you find you are volatile. If you wish to take it as a concept, you can take it as concept. That will you advanced yogi. If you wish to say it is a reality, you may say it is done by invisible ghost or some much magical power. Yes, that is also truth. Depend on your belief. So imagine without love to your body and without love to your life, if you keep on observing without reaction, you can see whenever the signal arising from into the out is so realistic, but is totally mind-made. Mano pubbangama dhamma, mano siddha, manomaya, manasache pasannena bhasati va karoti va, tatonan sukhamang veti chayavana paini. Everything happening is Mind is the forerunner. Mind is the leader, only mind made. If you look at it with the pleasant mind or positive mind, everything is under control. Whole world is full of green. But if you look at with the head, it is a torturing. You are in agony. So just like a cart, the wheel following the hoof of the cow or the bullock, just like the way you look at it. So only the systematic or methodological or gradual processes, observe it again and again when it is happening. At the beginning, of course, you are bound to open your eyes and check whether you are security concerned. But when you keep on practicing and after the exposing to this kind of discussions, you feel like not to rush, but to just observe it. And then you can see it is arising like a tension or like a swelling, and ultimately it disappears without any external object, remedy. It's arising and passing away. In between, if you are going to handle it or tackle it, you get committed. You become answerable, ever end up with disappointment. So therefore, all the pains arising are supposed to disappear. In reflexology massaging, they say, if you are going to get a common cold, 4 days time, it will get cured. But if you are going to treat it, it will take 6 days. This is what the medical science is doing. They can just extend that general immunity development system, delay. So whenever you are going to interfere this, the body knowledge, you are disturbing its natural power, when you are disturbing its natural healing. So therefore I am not talking about that completely do away with, just like a 7-day adventures and kind of thing. I am telling middle path. Do. But mind you, whatever you are doing may be negative also. Not doing is the answer maybe. So that is the answer Buddha put forward. Yes, you feel swollen lips, and when you write it, I open my mouth and say, eyes and see it is not there. But next day, suppose you are going to observe it further, at a point you will say, whether it's a concept or reality, it's at the brim. There your personality is challenged. Your likings and dislikings are challenged. Your habitual observation and outlook is challenged, and completely subject is open. Otherwise you are just a slave. Whenever threat happen, you are supposed to break away from the mindfulness and everything goes eccentric. So therefore, not only that, many other things going to happen. Ultimately it appears like a tornado. Whole body is in such a turmoil. Or sometimes you feel like suffocating. Someone is pressing you under the water. Or sometimes you feel like in a hot volcanic. Or sometimes you feel like you are on a earthquake. So all the things happen. So you are the person making earthquakes. You are the person making tornadoes. The things are there. The label that you give is up to you. But once you understand, you have the immunity to go through it. Once you go on through, you will understand how much these things can make a concept, how much these concepts can make a reality. Therefore, you are not believing even your organs, even your eyes, even your nose, tongue, kind of thing. Therefore, it says, if you see something, you have to touch and see whether it is reality. In a dream, we see, but because it is not tangible, we call it is dream. Only you can see in the dark, only you can touch in the dark, but you are not, if you wish to make sure, you have to have a light and see. So at least 2 organs has to come together to make the suggestion to be seconded. Because our organs are so cheating. Don't worry about your husband and wife's organs. They are utterly cheating, definitely. But I am talking about your own. So this is, with that only we are living whole day. So the Buddha says, look from the different perspective. Don't arrive at a decision, gather more and more information, then only you will know. More rushing to a decision, the decision never lasts. More you observe and make a decision, it is lasting. And my observation, if you have enough observation, decision is not necessary. It is naturally happening. So therefore, meditation, you are threatening to your under-the-nose experience. That is how Vipassana is developing. So it is a very good challenge, very good homework, I would say. So if the day you go through it, it may or may not be in a sitting experience. Maybe it is happening in your sleeping or in walking or whatever may be. Ultimately you find there are a lot of conventions are there, but how to extract the truth, how to discriminate among concept and reality, it's a very dangerous thing if you do not know the game. But once you come to understand it, you find your whole life is a teledrama. Your whole life is a joke. It's a hobby. Nothing to worry. That is how these serious things you can just look at as a hobby, because you know our data upon which we are making decision are not well established, not well seconded, unless otherwise you know the Vipassana, unless otherwise you know repetitive application of your observation.
Most Venerable Bhante, it's my joy to explain what I gained during the retreat. When I came here, I could not keep my mind without daydreaming for 1 minute. During the retreat, I meaningfully followed. Here I am now sitting. Now I can wait more than half an hour watching my in-breath and out-breath. When I start watching the breath at the beginning, I start breathing with an effort. But after some time, it becomes normal. During this time, I hear outside noises but not get disturbed. No body pains either. During this time, I realize that my head is being bending towards my chest. Hope I am okay. Hope I am on the correct path, and with more practice, I will be able to go deep into mindfulness. May all your desires in this life and in samsara be fulfilled. Thank you so much for guiding us on the correct path.
As for the early part of the letter, be careful when you go back home and behave with other family members. You will have a lot of problems. Because you can stay just 30 minutes without looking at anything, so everyone will ask them to go to the asylum. Something wrong when you are going there, it was not there, you are looking here and there, you are very alert. Now you just observe and wait sitting for 30 minutes, so everyone will find something wrong somewhere. So when you go back home, play little hell. Mind you that we are living in a mad world. We don't know, are we mad or were they mad? So therefore, whenever the meditation going on, take care about the ethical aspects, how to cope up with other people. And it's very interesting. It's very important. The day you are going to prove that your practice is very successful and good, everyone will look at from the top to the toe, something wrong there. So at that time, coordination and going to the forest and living in under a tree is very good, because you are not much of interaction with others. So when and where the sitting meditation becomes successful, you are becoming not belongs to this earth, not belongs to this world. And if you are going to work with them, you have to understand they can't adopt, you can. So therefore, behave in such a way not to make any problem. Or I would say, don't make any statement. Just behave like an idiot. Just behave like an idiot, so that you can get another chance to come and meditate here. If you are going to express that I got the chance and I can wait for 30 minutes without any distraction like that, you will never come back again. So therefore it is good, but as well it is bad. Because if you do not know how to tackle it, then very difficult. So therefore when and where it is happening, the Buddha says compare it external, internal and external, internal way. This is internal, and then you have to understand the external and external, internal. Iti ajjattanga kaye kayanupasse virati, bahiddava kaye kayanupasse virati, ajjatta bahiddava kaye kayanupasse virati. That is how it becomes pragmatic. That is how it becomes applicable to others. And that is, don't think it's a responsibility of your family members. Never. It is your responsibility. So therefore, make use the or make the conducive situation. Your practice is advancing, but don't make any problem for our other near and dear ones. Then I would say you are a very wise person, not otherwise.
Dear Bhante, please explain what is meant by underlying tendency. Number 2, lack of wisdom. Number 3, seeing reality as they are. Number 4, how to develop wisdom. Much appreciated, Bhante.
It would have been the early part of the retreat, I would have taken time in the talks, but now how to explain this kind of thing. The underlying tendencies, sometimes it is called directed dispositions or anusaya. Anusaya, that means something hidden tendencies with us. Unless otherwise we do away with the transgressional kind of defilements and obsessional kind of defilements, you can't see this. So in the meditation, what we do is, of course, in the moral restrainment, we do away with transgressional kind of defilements. And when and where you develop certain amount of concentration, either tranquility level or vipassana concentration, then you do away with obsessional kind, and then only you can see under the carpet dust. That is called underlying tendencies or directed dispositions, and that is more responsible about your personality traits. But if you are not a meditator and if you are not keen about, even you do not know what are these. Therefore, it's simply in the common language it says, the question, who am I, is a very spiritual. Even if you are going to live 120 years and die, still you do not know who you are. Because your mind is always past and the future, other people and other places. So when and where it comes here, even then you have to do away with transgressional and obsessional kind of defilements. Then only you can see these dispositions. And so the Buddha says, whatever your effort may be, unless otherwise you are following the Buddha or one of his disciples, your mind will never direct it to see your disposition. So therefore it's a kind of a very technical aspect. So keep on practicing transgressional kind and the obsessional kind, then you will slowly understand the verbal meaning or theoretical meaning or book knowledge, and then you have to internalize it with the deductive knowledge, and with that knowledge only one day you can catch the directed disposition red-handed. So likewise, see things as they are, and the wisdom and the ignorance, they need a lot of explanation, and by giving 1 or 2 sentences, I doubt the question will be, or doubt will be rectified. So therefore, please listen to the recorded Dhamma talks again and again, then you may see some other details which you have not gathered. Otherwise it will take, I can't make a complete answer to this kind of thing. I just tackled the first request out of 4.
Dear Venerable Sir, when will you cover the part 3 of Dasuththara Sutta in English with Metta?
That is why the very first book we did it in Florida. Here we did the first 4 sections. So this is how in Nissarana we do, section by section we do. So therefore you have to follow Dhammajiva.com and when and where it is to be published, they will indicate this is the continuity of the Dasuththara Sutta. So I have no any set plan. So whenever some other English retreats are going to go there, most probably I will take it up, unless otherwise the retreatants are going to suggest their own favorite topic.
Venerable Sir, now I think I know the direction. Thank you. With metta. This is not related. Dear Most Venerable Bhante, would you be kindly give your permission to stay tonight here for one who wants to stay for the next retreat, which will be starting tomorrow?
The male we can no problem, but the females, on principles we are not keeping. We always make it very strict, no overnight stay. But what we can do is, you can stay with the day-to-day dayakas. I mean, they are stay down there. But retreat center we are closing, and we are making it strictly for the females. Males, we can do some kind of adjustment. So if it is a female, I can't take the responsibility because no one can take the security, no one can take about the responsibility. So therefore, it's easier for us to reject this kind of request. So male, if it is a male called to talk to Sajit, he can make arrangements.